Have you ever felt close to someone, only to watch them become distant, just as the relationship seemed to be growing stronger? For many people, this experience feels confusing and painful. One moment, communication feels effortless. The connection appears to be deepening. The future seems full of possibility. Then suddenly, the other person begins to withdraw. They become less available. Conversations feel shorter. Plans become less certain. Emotional closeness is replaced by distance. This behavior is often misunderstood as a lack of care. But in many cases, something more complex is happening beneath the surface. This video explores why some people pull away when relationships become serious and how emotional patterns can influence the way people respond to intimacy. Human beings naturally seek connection. At the same time, they also seek emotional safety. When a relationship begins, excitement often feels stronger than vulnerability. The focus is on discovery, attraction, and possibility. As emotional bonds deepen, however, something changes. The relationship becomes more meaningful. And when something becomes meaningful, the possibility of loss becomes meaningful too. For some people, this heightened emotional significance triggers fear. The fear may not always be obvious. In fact, the person experiencing it may not fully understand it themselves. They may simply feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or uncomfortable. Psychologically, this often relates to attachment patterns and emotional experiences developed over time. People who learned that closeness was unpredictable, disappointing, or emotionally painful may unconsciously associate intimacy with risk. As the relationship becomes more serious, the nervous system may begin to treat emotional closeness as a potential threat. This creates an internal conflict. Part of the person wants connection. Another part wants protection. The result is emotional distance. Some people become quieter. Others become busy. Some focus heavily on work, hobbies, or personal goals. Others may suddenly become unsure about the relationship itself. To their partner, the change can feel abrupt. Internally, however, the person pulling away is often trying to manage emotions that feel difficult to understand. This does not mean the relationship is doomed. It does mean that awareness becomes important. Many relationship problems grow when people react to emotional distance without understanding what may be happening underneath it. One partner may respond by pursuing harder, seeking reassurance, or demanding clarity. The other may respond by withdrawing even further. This creates a cycle where both people feel misunderstood. Healthy relationships require emotional curiosity. Instead of immediately assuming rejection, it can help to ask deeper questions. What fears might be present? What emotional experiences might be influencing this behavior? What does safety look like for both people? Understanding does not mean ignoring unhealthy behavior. Healthy relationships still require communication, respect, and accountability. But understanding emotional patterns allows people to respond with greater wisdom rather than react purely out of fear. One of the most powerful relationship skills is learning to distinguish between emotional distance and emotional rejection. Sometimes people pull away because they no longer want the relationship. But sometimes they pull away because the relationship has become important enough to activate deeper fears. The solution is not control. It is emotional awareness. When people understand their attachment patterns, communicate honestly, and create emotional safety, closeness becomes less threatening. Over time, the nervous system learns that connection does not always lead to pain. It can also lead to trust. Take a moment to reflect. How do you respond when relationships become more serious? Do you move closer? Do you become anxious? Do you create distance? What patterns appear most often? Awareness is not about judging yourself. It is about understanding yourself. And understanding creates the possibility for growth. The takeaway is simple. When people pull away, the behavior may not always be about a lack of love. Sometimes it is about a lack of emotional safety. And when emotional safety grows, healthy connection becomes easier to sustain. Subscribe to Relationship tab for calm, thoughtful relationship education and emotional growth.